welcome to another episode of Isaiah 61. Today we're going to be talking about the seat of the soul. The seat of the soul is also known as the gate of exchange. The reason for this is because the soul is where your will, your emotions, your mind all converge to the heart. And it's from this place that your entire life flows from. So there is nothing that happens in life that is coincidental or by accident. Every decision you make is spiritual. And that means all your thoughts, all your emotions, all your decisions, especially the decisions, create a spiritual currency. So in the spiritual realm, we call decisions spiritual currency. And the reason for that is because every decision you make decides whether you're making it for the kingdom or whether you're making it for darkness. Either you're making it for light or for darkness. If you make good decisions, if life is all about advancing life for the betterment of wholeness for everyone. But if you make decisions, let's say driven by greed, driven by, scarcity, driven by fear, driven by anxiety, if you are taking risks, but they're not kingdom risks, they're actually grounded in fear, now you start creating spiritual debt. So anytime you make a decision and it's based on darkness, it's based on alignment with spiritual contracts or open covenants that you have with spirits, knowingly or unknowingly, it doesn't matter. You are making those decisions in spiritual debt. And that will end up creating or manifesting itself in your life. So for example, if you decide that you can only do business by robbing other people or taking a lot of proceeds from other people who are working way harder for you than you should, then 9 times out of 10, at a certain point, the business goes into trouble and it goes into bankruptcy. Or you end up having to lie a lot to keep the wealth, or eventually, even if you hoard all that money, it still ends up slipping through your fingers. This is how spiritual manifestation typically works. Now, if you make decisions that are aligned with the kingdom, then you start seeing multiplication. And this is what you want to do in life in general. The beauty of life and the essence of life is for you to continue opening channels, not just for yourself, but for others. It's to continue blessing yourself and others through alignment with the kingdom and the Creator. So always remember that. So when we say the soul is the gate of exchange, that's what we mean. Because your will makes all decisions from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed. So the question then becomes, how do you make decisions throughout the day? How do you ensure that you are aligned to the kingdom? What habits have you created, have you put in place to make sure that you're constantly staying true to the true north, that you are asking the Holy Spirit to guide your steps, your decisions, your will, your mind, and how you think? Most of the things we do come from thought. And so thought becomes one of the few places that you want to stay very focused on. Every thought that you make, everything that you think impacts your decisions. So I hope that helps. And if we need more working sessions, then we can definitely work on that and get that out to you guys as a framework. If you guys are interested, I can create a framework on how the seat of the soul is the true anchor to your identity. I hope that helps. We'll chat again.
It's the greatest, your